Welcome, you guys. This is Cannibal Giants on YouTube and Facebook. I also have Utah Paranormal Activities and Paranormal Adventures. So, yeah, let's get into this. This is going to be kind of a little more of a adventure for 2022. I think we're going to kind of focus more on this than we have in the past because my other digital platforms like 45 News Utah and others have kind of tanked. I'm hitting a snag in the road lately to do with 45 News Utah because of the political implications of running a news organization, but we have other platforms to go to. So Cannibal Giants is a good one. I do have others like I say, Utah Paranormal Adventures and Activities, and I have Paranormal Beings too, paranormalbeings.com, which can be worked, and Paranormal Beings on Facebook and YouTube. So I do have quite a few different ideas to work on. Get the free Microsoft Edge browser extension. I guess I have to exit out of that temporarily. So today's show, let's hopefully get some engagements from you guys out there in everywhere land, and you guys decide to engage properly and knowledgeably, or to engage your brain, your mind, into other possibilities that were not, that the populations of modern humanity have been kind of excluded from that topic, from this topic we're going to discuss today. So remember, history is written by those that are the victors, and a lot of times history and reality is stranger than fiction. So just put that in perspective. Another topic I also want to touch on is, so you get back to the original historians that have documented history for us that we consider to be factual in this modern era of digital and internet and our advancements in technology. With the information age, we're actually able to see a lot more things than we ever could possibly have dreamed of back in, as far as the 1980s, 1990s. This is the advancements and the ability to access information has never been so prevalent in humanity as it is today, and it will only continue to be more prevalent in our exploration for the truth. So at Cannibal Giants, which is a pretty good YouTube page we could develop, we're going to dabble farther into this, the world of the unknown, to the scientific community and to the everyday truth explorers. It's kind of being discovered as we go, but there is definitely something to be said about the hiding of evidence of a race of giants, or an entirely different race of humanity that was here prior to us. Now, there's a lot of biblical scriptures that talk about this, especially in the book of Enoch. There's other parts of the Bible that you could read about this men of old, the men of renown, the giants that used to be here. And going through YouTube today, I came across the giants emerging everywhere. They can't hide this anymore. It's by Viral Now. You check it out. There will be links below. I'll try to get to the YouTube page so you guys click to this other YouTube video. There's a lot that has happened. A lot that they're trying to cover up. I do believe this kind of puts together the theory, or the ancient legends. Sorry, I was looking at that. Teepees and this giant stand in the middle of it. You kind of see that. I'll show you right there. It's got a picture of teepees and a giant standing there. It kind of puts together Sasquatch, which I've had personal encounters with that issue in the past, which I don't believe that you could still experience what I experienced back in the 80s. And I think it puts it into perspective what was really happening when I was younger and I encountered Sasquatch. And not just one, it was a lot of Sasquatch in one night. It was insane. But we're going to kind of dabble into that today to explain the facts and the scripture talking about how God had covered the earth in water, and that buried up the giants into the earth. They were cemented into the earth. Yeah, let's go to the book of Enoch, just to start this series today. And yeah, let's do book of Enoch. Let's do giants. Now, normally, a lot of preparation would go into a show. I'm going to just go ahead and just go with it. Just going to go with it. We're gonna roll together. We're gonna kind of figure this stuff out ourselves. The book of Giants, the book of Enoch, and they're called the Watchers, the Nephilim. That's what one of the books you can purchase about that. I'll tell you about it through Amazon. We're going to find free information because we are poor individuals. We have to work for a living. We don't have a big like operation. So, Giants, the fallen angels. Let's get into that. The context, the book of Enoch. And we will kind of work through this per YouTube, it's looking like. Sorry, I got all my technical equipment in the way, which is just basically power strips.
The Ethiopic Book of Enoch.
So,
and this is sometimes called the Book of Enoch.
I'm going to have allergies, guys. I know they do about it. Dogs were down here. It's going to be tough for me.
There's actually bunches of books of Enoch, and we have
join us at 7. This guy is
so when none of the early Christians, though, none of
Center Place.
Jesus doesn't leave any writings at all. So Jesus never wrote a book and talk about this is my.
Not a very good explanation,
it's
guys.
Language even in the western part of the empire.
This guy talks about the book.
So already in the 4th century,
fallen angels.
The Book of Enoch.
So the expansion of the flood story. So the flood came in the Bible to wash away the corrupted flesh of Cain and the Canaanites, which they apparently what the Bible is describing. And you're not supposed to basically give your theory on biblical scripture. It's supposed to be my word is true, and it's not to be interpreted. But they're talking about in the Bible, book of Enoch, that the flood came because the humans that God had created through Adam had become corrupt of flesh, which it goes back to the angels that came down from heaven and found the daughters of man attractive and came down and took them as wives and produced an entire race of half angels, half humans throughout the earth. That's what the corruption of flesh was that was talked about in the Bible. That's why the great flood of Noah came. That's why all that stuff happened, was because they had to God wanted to get rid of this race of giants. And we could say, and it came to pass when the children of man had multiplied, that in those days there were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. I guess that's pretty big, comely. And the angels of the children of heaven saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose wives from another child, for among the children of man, and beget us children. And Samajaz, I don't know who was their leader. We got to kind of remember that. Semjeza. Oh, that's kind of a weird name. I have some kind of connection if you dig a little deeper into it. I like exploring these theories and these names. You can find a lot to do with modern in your face on the internet connections between the names that were thrown out back in the day. Who was their leader, said unto them, I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty for a great sin.
It explains what's going on.
God said, don't touch my children that I created on earth.
It came to pass when the children of men
and they did.
Multiplied, that in those days, I fear ye will not in Mount Hermon.
Okay. Expansion of flood story. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by mutual precautions, not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. And they were in all 200, who descended in the day of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. It's weird because you got the store Harmons. I always connect stuff that they leave in plain sight. I don't know what that means, what summit of Mount Harmon, and there's Harmons. And these are the names of their leaders. Oh, I can't even go through this, guys. I'll see if I see something that resembles something in modern day. I can't really see anything. That any of the names. So there is a bunch of names. You guys can check it out for yourselves. That is the names that were given to. These are the angels that came down, apparently, on Mount Harmon. But that's not 200. These are the chiefs of tens. So, yeah, the 10 chiefs. I didn't know it went into this detail at the time of
And these are the names of
understanding this.
Sam Lazaz, and they go and have the kids.
Okay. And then Michael. Oh, wow. I didn't know Michael came down here. Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from the heaven and saw men, much blood being shed upon the earth, and all lawlessness being brought upon the earth. Okay, so we must have missed something here. So let's say, I think we did. Yeah, let's see what this is. So we got that. And we got the names of the angels that came here. And Michael, yeah. Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down upon the heavens, saw much blood being shed upon the earth, and all lawlessness being wrought upon the earth. And they said to the Lord of the ages, Lord of lords, God of God, King of kings, and the God of the ages, thou seest what Azazel hath done, who hath taught all unrighteousness on earth, and revealed the internal secret which were preserved in heaven, which were present. They revealed. Wow. So that's weird. Taught all unrighteousness on earth, and revealed the eternal secrets which were preserved in the heaven. That's pretty deep, really. So the lawlessness, the lewdness, all this stuff that was being done upon the earth when these angels came down to take the daughters of man as their wives. Now the heavens, the secrets that were eternal in the heavens, they were preserved in the heavens, were brought to the earth, that brought about this insanity that was brought down to the sons of men, daughters of men.
And they go and have the kids, and they create kind of a new kind of hybrid society. One of the things they do in the story is then they also do this thing like Prometheus does in Greek mythology, defile themselves and reveal.
Okay, so they have gone to the daughters of men upon the earth, and have slept with the woman, and have defiled themselves, and revealed to them all kinds of sins that man didn't know at the time. Apparently the angels brought sins to the earth. After the Adam and Eve took the forbidden fruit, and then the angels came down, took the daughters, and revealed all the sins to them that was in the heavens. And the women have borne giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. So, yeah, that just explains that the bad, wicked deeds were in the heavens, locked up from humanity. But it was brought down here by these angels that decided to rebel against God, come down and take the daughters of man, defile themselves, and have children or giants. God then sends the archangel Uriel to warn Noah and his family of the coming flood. He sends Michael and the other archangels to bind Samjaza and the fallen angels. So they came down and bound the angels. The other archangels, which Michael and all the others, came down and bound these fallen angels at the time to the earth, and apparently to shut them up so they couldn't stop the flood. Which, depending on what side you're on, that would really, really suck. Really, really, really suck if you're one of the fallen angels. You're basically stuck. Let's see if we get it. So we went through that. his interpretation. Let's get to the next one. I have to kind of go through this on his video because I am not. The four angels. What are they talking about, the four angels?
Is this angelology, and actually these names of the four archangels.
Okay.
So this is a Christian church that has.
Yeah, that's just saying that's the four angels that we talked about. Michael and them come down and bound the angels. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel. So we have to figure out who. The fallen was 200. So that's a pretty good number that came down. They're the ones that are bound right now. So just imagine them bound up. These are archangels type, or angels, beings, angelic beings that are here on the earth. And just as God's going to flood the earth, and they come down, the archangels tell Noah about this, that this is coming because they're not of corrupt flesh. The other archangels actually had to bound the other angels to keep from doing anything. And behold, the names of those fallen angels, and those are their names. The first of them is Samjaza. I don't know how to explain how to pronounce it. The second, I can't even. They're all in like Hebrew. Anyway, so they go through the angels again. The angels they bound at the time, who they were. And let's go to the next. So, and the third was named Gadriel. He it is who showed the children of men all the blows of death. Oh, that's so horrible. So this Gadriel, he's the one that showed the children of man all the blows of death. And he led them astray. So this angel that was here, he actually went ahead and explained how to kill other people. Hit them and kill them. That's just horrible. That's just, now we understand what's happening, I believe. And he led astray Eve and showed the weapons of death to the sons of man. So he taught the basic, primate guy that was the sons of man how to make weapons. The shield and the coat of mail. He's kind of like, I guess, like a mesh, they used to use in England. And sword for battle. So he taught them, this Gadriel taught the men how to battle, how to make armor, how to kill each other, how to make the death blows on another human being. So this guy's a bad dude. This angel took a type of Garden of Eden God had created, which they'd already lost because of Eve, a lot of the sin, but they hadn't yet understood how to make weapons. So now, through this angel that's being bound by Gabriel and Michael, Raphael, he's the guy. This guy right here is the one. This is the angel that the fallen angel that really taught death and how to kill and how to make weapons to man. And anyway, and the fourth was named Penemu, Penemue. He taught the children of men the bitter and the sweet, and he taught them all the secrets of their wisdom. Oh, that's bad. He instructed mankind in writing, with ink and paper. Thereby men sinned from eternity to eternity. And until this day. So he gave, this other angel gave the ability to read and write, which was a sin. This isn't good. This is called the source of demonology. Now we have to go back to the Native American people, the indigenous natives of North America. There's one crucial clue that solidifies the angelicness of the indigenous peoples that inhabited North America, parts of South America and Alaska. Well, let's say parts of South America, North America, including Alaska. But the tribes had no real written language. The only written language that, and the tribe that had that was the Cherokees. They're the ones that developed a written language. But I feel this connection between the native peoples and the inability to have, which is say backwards, and say heathens, and say, whatever by the modern world of Europe. But realistically, the way of the indigenous native people was an angelic way. It was the ways that God had first created on this earth that was corrupted by the fallen angels that brought this type of technologies to the world that God had created for mankind. So that's a pretty big discovery. Really big discovery, actually, that reading and writing was brought to humanity by demons. So this is Enoch, a source of demonology right there. So the way to live to closer to what God's plan is and was for humanity was before this time, where the tools of war and death was given to humanity by the fallen angels, and then the ability to read and write. That kind of explains quite a bit, because the more of a primitive people, it seems like, in the Amazon, the more you find a more substantial community type life without the corruption and greed that modern humanity has with monetary systems and all this, whatever you want to call it, reading and writing.
Of the sons of men, the shield and the coat of mail, and the sword for battle, and all the weapons of death.
Anyway,
according to the Book of Enoch.
Let's get into more of this.
It's also, and one of the reasons why it was so important to early Christians, it's also a big source of messianism. And this was also why they elected it Qumran. So the Dead Sea Scrolls people are very much people on the outs with the contemporary authorities in Jerusalem. They've been kicked out of being able to...
They have been kicked out. I read about the Dead Sea Scrolls. They were discovered by a herder boys throwing rocks into a cave and hit a big vase, a big clay pot and these clay pots all had the Dead Sea Scrolls hidden from humanity. Okay, let's go to Enoch, a source of Messianism. Well, we're starting to get into the Freemasons. And there I saw one who had a head of days. And his head was white like wool, and with him was another being whose countenance had the appearance of a man, and his face was full of graciousness like one of the holy angels. And I asked the angel who went with me and showed me all the hidden things concerning that Son of Man, who he was, and whence he was, and why he went with the head of days. So let's kind of get a better explanation of this, because if you really break this down, and there I saw one who had a head of days. That's weird. And his head was white like wool. That's weird. And with him was another being whose countenance had the appearance of a man. So we're dealing with something that isn't man-like. Weird. And his face was full of graciousness like one of the holy angels. Yeah, this has something to do with something weird, guys. Something weird's happening here. And I asked the angel who went with me and showed me all the hidden things concerning that Son of Man so he was taken by the Son of Man and I asked the angel who went with me and showed me all the hidden things concerning that Son of Man, who he was, and hence he was, and why he went with the head of days. That's kind of a scary thing, because you have the Son of God, you have the Son of Man. There's two different things I'm seeing happening in the Bible. I really don't want to dig into that today, but there's something here.
Here's another portion of Enoch about Messiah. So I saw...
so we've gone from the Son of God to the Son of Man in the Bible. That's describing the Christ.
Who had a head of days, and his head, who is the Son of Man? And this title, important apocalyptic title in Second Temple Jewish apocalypticism. And the angel answered and said unto me, This is the Son of Man, who hath righteousness, with whom dwelleth righteousness, and who revealed all the treasures of that which is hidden, because the Lord of spirits has chosen him, and whose lot hath the preeminence before the Lord of spirits in uprightness forever. For in those days the elect one shall arise, and he shall choose the righteousness and the holy from among them, for the day has drawn nigh that they should be saved. So you can kind of see here, why this, was something that early Christians kind of read. And
this is kind of like a real confusing doctrine. People say, "Oh no, it's not." That's confusing. That's beyond anything that I can really piece together. I can make a theory. You can make a theory. Everybody can have a theory. I have a theory. This is left in the hand of God. This is something that we can't really understand.
And they saw, in terms of their understanding of Jesus as the Messiah, or as the Greek version for that is Christ, why they're kind of then seeing, in the title in the Gospels, Jesus frequently uses then is, calls himself by the title Son of Man, right? The Son of Man, it says this and that.
So that explains the Son of Man, apparently.
Again, an apocalyptic future, and it's about the salvation and where the righteous are vindicated.
So that's kind of crazy. So we're getting farther out of the realm of giants here. We're pretty far out of this realm. Where we're at right now, we've kind of strayed. We've kind of strayed from the topic that we're talking about. So we're basically on giants today. This is our main deal, Cannibal Giants. So this is another YouTube video called Indians versus Giant. Well, you watch Russell Mead, you kind of understand where the term Indian, those with God, is what that term is. Hindus, their Hindustan was an
Swish this sour liquid in your mouth.
Yeah, swish this sour liquid in your mouth, and your teeth will regrow. I wish that would happen. So this guy talks about Indians versus Giants. Remember, Indians is a term, those with God.
Native American tribes have passed down similar stories.
Not Hindustan, which is India now. That was Hindustan.
Giants. They claim these giants were cannibals who were wiped out by the Great Spirit in several major cataclysms as punishment for their wickedness and for forgetting justice and mercy.
So yeah, they're saying that they were wicked, like what we just went through with the Enoch, the biblical scriptures of the giants that came down and bred the daughters of man, and the archangels bound them up so they couldn't fight back, the 200 that came here. And there was a race of giants created by the hybriding of humans, the daughters of man, and the giants, the original 200 giants. So this talks about that God punished them through cataclysmic events on the earth, which would make complete sense. And now we're going to talk about the Great Flood. So when the Great Flood came, Noah was told to get his family, build the ark. Everybody laughed at him. But they had discovered how to sin and how to kill each other per the fallen angels on the earth. So those 200 taught the experiment, or the humans that God had created in his image, how to kill one another, make weapons, make armor, and how to hit a human and kill another human through death blows, how to write down, all this, which brought sin upon the earth. Anyway, that's really quite interesting for me that happened. But you really got to take into consideration a lot of other facts in part 2 we're going to talk about with the Spanish explorers and the indigenous Native Americans of the North America and South Central America. That's what's going to be in part 2 to this video. So we're going to take a break. I'll upload video number 2 here in a bit, and I hope you guys enjoy. This is Cannibal Giants. It's going to be a new series we're going to do exploring the possibility, probability, and factual giants, the men of old, men of renown, and Sasquatch all conglomerated into this series. So, you guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to take a break, get back with you just a bit, And remember, like, share, subscribe, whatever you got to do. And let's keep this channel going. 2022 is going to be a great year. We got 1 week to get this up and running, guys. Thanks for watching.